There's no lashon. So doesn't knock another Yid. The Yid does it. It's an affair, and the Yid, you could feel it in the person's self and others. Shh, come on. Yidden don't knock other people, and it's a tremendous pride. Mishpatim bal yidum. The Goyim don't have mishpat. We're zeich, and one of the laws we have is lashon hara. And we know the Chaymer had dvarim that there's something called saras that comes first to a person's bias, their clothing, and ultimately their body, telling a person to be zahir, not to say bad about other people, not to knock other people. For years, Rav Ezi and I have thought about this Chazal along with others. Many wonder. Typically, negat saras meant one thing. Typically, a negat saras, the Gemara in Erechim, it does say other averos, but the most famous at least, and the Gemara in Erechim describes it, that negat saras is a warning for lashon hara. But there's an example of another negat that was a good desire, that was a good thing. Thank you. And the nega that was a good thing was in Parshas Mitzorah. It says, "Vaydaber shel Moshe and Aaron Lamor, ki sovo eretz Canaan." When you come to Eretz Canaan, asher ani noisim lachem that I'm giving you la'achuza. V'nasati negat saras beis ha'achuza. I'm going to put negat saras. And Rashi says, "Besuri lahem." It was news. Hashem told them news that Negayim, they're going to get Negayim. Now this nega had nothing to do with lashon hara. Lefi Rashi says, since she'tminu amariyim matmayniyos shel zav b'kiris batayim, the Goyim, the Sheva Amin, we were coming and we were capturing Eretz Yisrael, and the 7 nations, they hid their wealth, their matmayniyos, in the walls of their houses. Kol arba'im shana she'yisrael b'midbar. All the while we were in the desert, the Goyim knew where we were coming. We were coming home. The guy knew that we were coming home to Eretz Yisrael, and they knew we'd capture Eretz Yisrael, so they hid their treasures, b'kiras batayim, in the walls of their houses. Al yidei hanegas, when we got there, all their treasures were hidden. The Emes Sfarim speak about it. It's amazing, midas story. What does it help to hide it? If we're going to destroy them and kick them out, so what does it help to hide it? There's pashtus. Svarim give other terutzim. Why are they hiding it? So you could say they would run away and later come back. They knew we were going to capture it. So what does it help to hide your matmainiyas? It's a deep midas stein that if we can't have it, at least the Yidden won't get it either. And bikiris, but then there are other pshatim. There are other thoughts. It's kedai thought to think what they were doing. But this word that they're hiding matmainiyas, bikiris, batem, in the walls of their houses. But they hid in the walls of their houses, they hid their treasures. Interesting, 40 years they were anticipating us coming. Kol arba'im shana, they're like worried we come, and they're hiding their matmainiyas in the walls of their house. Al yidei hanega, we came to Eretz Yisrael, and right away some of the houses had negayim. Nitat sabayis u'maitzah. We had a nega in the house, shucks, and there's a nega in the house, we have to take it apart. When we took the house apart, we found tremendous treasures. We found great wealth when we took down the bottom. Now, what makes anybody think is typically a negat saras was for lashon hara. And here, just like another story of a nega, that was a good nizak, that was a besur, it's not always bad. And Hashem used the very same nega that was a message to us by lashon hara. The very same nega was used to take apart the houses and to find the matmainiyos of the Goyim, Zayin Amin, and through that we became very, very wealthy through that. Now, one does not have to connect it to lashon hara, pashtus. It's unconnected to lashon hara, but it definitely gives pause that Hashem uses the same nega that tells us, hey, stop speaking lashon hara. And that nega, when we came to Eretz Yisrael, was used in this way. Is there a message? Is it possible that there's some message that relates to lashon hara as well? In the fact that here, the nega caused us to take apart the house, and rebuild it and get tremendous wealth. What looked like negative for us turned into tremendous wealth. So I just I want to share with the Chevra. I'm not looking to this thought. I don't know the answer. I don't know. It's interesting. It brings different thoughts to mind. I really want to talk to the Chevra about something. That's the truth. I don't need the word to hang on. I'll say the word in a few minutes. I want to talk to the Chevra that Lashon Hara is such an aside because people are so flawed. We do have flaws. We're human. There's so much humanness around. Every person has so much humanness. There's human frailty everywhere. And it has to be in our command not to speak Lashon Hara. It has to be something that a deep understanding. One could say your whole life you're tempted for it, and like bite your tongue your whole life. It's very unlikely that, to me, that Hashem was mitzvah don't speak Lashon Hara. I don't know if we're always just noticing all the bad. So first of all, we're going to have a lot of blood on we're biting our tongues our whole life, biting our lips. It's not very painful. There has to be an instruction here. There has to be an instruction. There has to be something that it's saying to us. All this Isurim of Lashon Hara are instructive to us. It's interesting to me that we have Isurim of Macholis Hasuris, and typically what happens is, we don't spend our whole life. Not that a person can't. Typically people don't spend their whole life like craving chazir. Also, the same thing. Lashon Hara, we see negative. It's even the emes wants to say it. Yeah. So, firstly on this, I've said, we've learned together in the past. We've learned together in the past, Reb Shmuel Birnbaum, the Mir Rosh Hashiva, who said that the Mitzayra, the one who has Saras, brings two birds, because he chirps like a bird. He chirps like a bird, and Reb Shmuel Birnbaum, the Mir Rosh Hashiva, that's our ass. He does a lot worse than chirping like a bird. He's saying negative stuff. Halavayim is chirping like a bird. A bird chirps, it's nothingness. So he said the person who spoke Lashon Hara doesn't chirp like a bird. He says Shlach B'Zachin. So Shmuel Birnbaum said something years ago. Reb Palm on Tishba, the famous the tzaddikim who inspired Klal Yisrael Shmiras HaLashon in their videos years ago when I was a youngster. Reb Palm was on one of the videos. I believe it was Reb Palm, Kemat Bar, and he said that it can't be your biting your tongue, and he said we have to work on seeing good on people. And Shmuel Birnbaum said the same thing. Wow. He said that the problem's not he said bad on people. The problem is that he's supposed to see good in people. And the chirping means he's not using his deeper, right? It's a smoke screen that the problem is the bad things he's saying. Wow. The bad thing he's saying is not the problem. The problem is he's supposed to say good on people. We're precious people. Why aren't you walking around saying and seeing good in people? Why aren't you doing that? So Shmuel Birnbaum said, that's the birds he brings. That your deeper is like chol. He already did tshuva. He brings the bird after the yid was mechaper to the Aveir of Lashon Hara. He's actually ready to come back to society. Now we tell him to say that you regret speaking bad. You should know even dal the bad. Why aren't you saying good on people? Why aren't you saying good? Reb Palm said this on a video. Reb Palm said we have to practice seeing good and saying good in people. Reb Palm said it. And it has to be. It has to be the avodah. It has to be. Pasha has to be the avodah. Starts by ourselves. We knock others because of our own lack of acceptance. We have to accept ourselves. So, part of the Sugi of Lashon Hara, we have to accept ourselves, see good in ourselves, and see good in others. We have to see good, say good, not just say good, not just true. People are wonderful. It's got to be there's no other hechatimsa to keep the Isur of Lashon Hara. It's not this. It's mistaber that Hashem's guiding us to something. So, I'm a person sitting there the whole life wanting to say bad violence. If that's the tzibur, that's the tzibur. Reb Palm said stark that we have to train ourselves. He said to see good in others. Of course, it starts, if we see good in ourselves, we'll see good in others. But I want to say something, but we see schwach, we see weakness in ourselves and others. We see a world full of weakness. There are challenges. It's a world full of challenges. There are a lot of challenges. And what I want to say, and perhaps this is the nega here, this nega, which looked like such a negative thing, and first of all, when the person took apart his house, he found tremendous tears, which again, it was our introduction when we came to Eretz Yisrael, and we're going to live zusammen, we're going to live together. Much more, in the Midbar, we were reliant on Hashem. All of a sudden, people are going to do commerce together, they're going to have communities, and all the things that could bring up. You have to buy and sell and deal with each other, and each other's deficiencies are going to hit each other. We're all human, and we make human mistakes. And Hashem sends a message that in the space where something looks like destruction, there could be tremendous construction here. Svarim bring that they hid the matmainias, and we got the matmainias is really the sugi of being naila things l'kedusha. That things can have tremendous tomena, matmainias and amarim of the goyim eventually come to us and are used for tremendous, beautiful things. So both the nega and the bias that looked like a negative, and the yid became rich. It looked like he was in trouble. His house is coming down, and he ends up becoming rich. Both the matmainias that used to belong to the amarim, that were malei tumah, and their nefach to come to the yidden, and our mala l'kedusha is both the sugi of things that look negative. Wow. And look detached as a very holy space, a holy thing for them. Brilliant. And I think just knowing all around in two nekudas that where people have weakness, they're human. Often in the space where they're weak, there's tremendous holiness. Often by us all. In the space where we're weak, in the space where we have nisyonis, people display tremendous kedusha. Often in the area we put ourselves down, there's tremendous struggle. There's the chance for the human to bring tremendous Kiddush Shamayim, and true on others. To see others as vehicles for Kiddush Shamayim. Instead of looking around, there's negative here, and there's spaces for Kiddush Shamayim. There's spaces, beautiful spaces for Mekadosh Shem Shamayim. Instead of seeing those challenges in ourselves as negative, as down, there's space, the beautiful Malay Chalar's Kveidei. It's a world full of opportunity for Kiddush Shamayim. The matmayim of the Amirim that become our matmayim, that become Mechalal HaKodesh. The Negat Saras, which typically looks like it destroys it, it becomes a vehicle of great ashiras. To train ourselves to see in the world, in our own circumstances, instead of seeing negativity and chisaron, to see in a world as a space for Kiddush Shamayim. Stop seeing chisaron, see opportunity. And then it's that challenges, there's weakness, there's all different. Well, that's the space, that's the tzimtzum that allows the loichal eretz kavod, that allows for tremendous Kiddush Shamayim. I've said this here before, we B'Ksaba Kabbalah, that every morning we describe the angels, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and then the Yid says Shema Yisrael. And it struck me younger as funny. The angels have this perfect one. Kulam Ke'echad, the Safa Brura, B'Ne'ima, they're so beautifully. And then the Yid says Shema Yisrael. Like, what hope do we have? Can we even compare to the angelic Kabbalah Zolmal Shemaim? The B'Ksaba Kabbalah says Fakir. They say Kaddish, 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 but they say Malay Chalaretz Kavayde. The angels are only like they've been Mekadosh Hashem, but they say, wait for the Yid to say Shema Yisrael. With all his frailty, with all his chesar, with all his challenges, in those spaces he brings tremendous Kiddush Shamayim. If we could see the world and our own chesrayos, our own challenges, our own flaws and faults, and even mistakes of yesterday, as places that we could bring Kedusha. In those spaces, Malay Chalar's Kavayda, it's a beautiful world, and in every nook and cranny there can be Kiddush Shamayim there. And instead of seeing people can go around like marking everybody, what a silliness. people have a space for Kiddush Shamayim. With their nisyanis, with the difficulties that they have, that's exactly a space of Kiddush Shamayim. The matmayim and the mariyim are hidden, and the nega instructs the yid to get those matmayim, to go from chol l'kodesh. The nega, which looks like it's destroying the bias, ends up giving him ashiras. The space that you see chesaron is really could be tremendous mila and gains, tremendous kedusha and tara here. I think there has to be an outlook of the world, a beautiful outlook, an amazing world, a world of Kvod Shemayim. Yeah, difficulty, frailty, challenges, spaces of Kiddush Shamayim. Then you see it working through. A person could see, I think instead of seeing a world of chesaron, a person can see a world that there's opportunities of Kiddush Shamayim. That's the beautiful world we live in. Chazal described Yafeh Sha'achas B'Yom Hazeh. This world is not passion, it's wild what Hashem did. We whisper Baruch Shem, it's an amazing world. Somebody can become, I feel badly for the person who has like a negative view of this whole world. Everybody's just flawed. Everybody messes up. Yeah, this one's this one's that, and I'm this. We're all like, tremendous mistake. It's a Hellenic Welt. It's a gorgeous world of Kiddush Shamayim. There's space for human beings to rise up and to decide and to have a moment, to have a sincere thing. It's a beautiful world of space for humans. I think might be the biggest chiddush after 120 to me, is we're going to join the angels and say, Maloi Chalartz Kvaydim. The angels look at this world and they say, wow, Kiddush Shamayim. That's their view of this world. Maloi Chalartz Kvaydim. Just spaces of Kiddush Shamayim. I just see Kvaydim Shamayim. They see Gufa and the Tzimtzum. This is a world of frailty. There's not frailty up there. It's not going to be so weak and full of weaknesses and mistakes and people's shortcomings and people's mistakes, all different giant mistakes, big mistakes, small, yesterday's mistakes that overwhelm the human being. All these things, one can see as stations of Kiddush Shamayim, a backdrop that a human being could rise, can have a sincere thought, can have a hero tshuva, can serve Hashem amidst so much going on and so many challenges. There's a beauty, a tremendous beauty to the world. I think if we gain the eyes of angels, and to me, Hilchos Lashon Hara, that really calls a person to see a beautiful world, not to knock, not to rip, not to see chesaron. You're busy with human frailty, with mistakes. A human being, Hashem made a human being that has challenges, that makes mistakes. And that's all the opportunity, because of those mistakes and challenges and frailty, is all the opportunity for the Kiddush Shamayim, for the Kvayid, Maloi Chalartz Kvayid, the Baruch Shem Kvayid Malchusay, that Shaykh. It's a beautiful world of frail people that can be Mekadosh Shem Shamayim. What a stunning world. My Rebbe's yard site was a week ago, and handling the sugya a little bit the last few days. He had a very interesting view of the world. His view of the world was like, he celebrated human frailty. It wasn't the negative thing. It was a beauty to it. And towards that, people were respected, all types of people. But it wasn't like a sugya. The frailty of a person was the space that in that space, the human being could be so full of faith, so full of choices, of saying the human being who says Shema Yisrael at his station, with his station, with her difficulties, with whatever's going on by the human being, he saw a very beautiful world. It was a very beautiful world of frail people serving Hashem and expressing Emunah. He saw this in Goyim even, and certainly, L'havdil, a tremendous Havdalah. L'havdil in Yisrael, he saw Yidden in the simple Yid, he saw tremendous opportunities of Kiddush Shamayim. We watch our different friends and neighbors amidst challenges. You see people, really big people, to sit there and dialing up and pointing out human frailty. You miss the sugya of this world. You miss, like under your eyes, a beauty, human frailty. Yeah, that's the world. That's the opportunity. That's the tzimtzum. It's not the Olam HaEmes. It's a different world. Even people say negatively. They call this the Alma the Shikra. There's a certain despise in the world. Alma the Shikna. What we're saying is that that Hashem gives space for human beings. That's what we're saying. It's not the Ilamanis. And it means there's a space for the human being to have a hero tshuva, for the human being to say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, for the human being to be Mekabel Torah, for the human being to learn a line of Torah, for the human being to say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I think if we can see the world as a space for a human being amidst frailty, we'll stop being so busy highlighting the frailty. That's not the sugya. The sugya is the beautiful human. Yeah, put in the world. You're explaining that in the world there's room for Kiddush Mayim. There's room for Kiddush Mayim. Now notice the Kiddush Mayim that's abound. Be like the angels. See the tremendous Kiddush Mayim that's all around. One way or another, Rav Pam said this, and again, each person had to get there. I don't know that we see a beautiful world. It has to be in the Hilchos Lashon Hara that the avoid is not just to bite our tongue and not say, but it's to see Tov and Yidden. To see Tov and say Tov, which of course a person has to start with themselves, their own opportunity of Tov, their own innate goodness, and then to see it in others. Rabbi Kalish described when you should give Musar to somebody and when you shouldn't. He said, if a guy talks in shul and you see a wonderful person, he's in shul, he's so well dressed, might even have his kid with him, he took the kid from his wife, you're steiming from him, but then you feel, maybe his 1-year-old shouldn't be in shul, he's disturbing others, but you're steiming from him, then you can give him Musar. He said, if you're not amazed by him, then call a place of the woman. Don't give him Musar and work on your own security, being more secure. That's what Rabbi Kalish advised people. If you're paisel, if you're a gedol paisis, then there's no room. At the point you see him as a yid, as a shining yid, as a precious yid, there's room to give teichachim. If you see him as bad, there's no teichachim there. I think to remember also in the space often that we call something bad midas, the shrushim are very good. The matmain is where there's a nega deeper under the house, there's a big richness. It's a big ashiris, even things we label and put in the bad column. A person's shirish is good. The shirish of people is very good. I think this chizuk, it's all there's a pride that with the people, with the nations, mitzvah and the Hilchos Lashon Hara. To make it, we always could use a chizuk. There's so much talk about it. We're reading Tazria Mitzvah. I just want to share with my friends and make a chizuk in any way. I'm talking a specific point, but in any way that we can make chizukim. To talk and not say bad on others, and not be others. Pashana, there are cases of heter with tayelas where a person's mitzvah, but to talk is not to have a pride with our children. Have an emistic, a pride. We don't put that on the Yidden. It's precious. We speak all the time about the preciousness of our people. I've told the Chevre, I'm reading a lot of Shemon Esrei this year. We say Amcha Yisrael in all different ways in Shemon Esrei so many times. Besides Ata Hashem, Baruch Ata Hashem, it's the most common expression in Shemon Esrei, I believe. Melech Olam, besides the bracha form, Amcha Yisrael, Yisrael Amecha, many times it's repeated in Shemon Esrei. Hashem's people, Am Hashem, Amcha Yisrael, to learn to say good and see good in Hashem's people. Speak good about a Yid, say good. In the home that there should be, a Yid should be praised. I'm thankful, I'm zeichen, my father and his mother was somebody who impacted the whole family. She said good on Yidden. She was Mishabeach Yidden. Always heard compliments on Yidden. My friends would like to come around to hang with me. My grandmother would say good on everybody. Say good, say good on people. Don't go around knocking people, not to your children, not to our wives, not to ourselves. To see and say good on people. We could say many divrei Torah on these parashas at Torah. Let's not take a tremendous pride with the Klal Yisrael. There's been a tremendous awakening of Klal Yisrael since Simchas Torah a year ago. Let's take it to the sunnah. Not nothing. He's not a yid. I don't knock my people. It's interesting. Even two brothers that have a fight, if somebody tries to touch one of the brothers, then all of a sudden they rally to their brother's attention. One of the things that's happened to us in having Yidden that are in captivity is we're more sensitive to Yidden. In the hotel I was in, they brought a hostage. People thought it was a Yid. It turned out he wasn't a Yid. I saw the crowd. They started cheering him when he walked in. It's a sense for a Yid. You could feel, we've learned that one of ours, Unser, is not a Yid. And there's a sense and a pride in the Yid. Let's bring it to our Shabbos table. Let's bring it to our houses. Not to say bad about it. Really, let's be mechazik. All of us. It's something the Chavetz Chaim was saying. I've always had such an affinity. I named my son Yisrael Meir. Always had a tremendous appreciation of the idealism of Chavetz Chaim. Tremendous idealist. And he brought in awareness specifically, and not speaking Mishmar, not saying bad on Yidden. So I want to give a bracha to us all, that we should be zeichet to have good einayim, have really good eyes, to see good in ourselves and to see good in Yidden. Have einayim to see good in Yidden. And let's be mechazik. Let's practically always, this is something always needs chizuk. Let's be mechazik to see good in Yidden, to say good about Yidden, to speak good about Yidden. All segments of Klal Yisrael, all the different parts of Klal Yisrael. There's so much to see. There's so much beauty in every part, in every segment of Klal Yisrael. The human is, that's the space. That's just, you're noticing this world has a space for Kiddush Shamayim. There's Simpson. It's not by the madness. There's a space. Human frailty is the space where people, in that weakness, in that hester, they bring tremendous insight. There's so much faith. There's so much goodness. Let's be mechazik. It's interesting. From far, when you look at people from far, you get to know, all of us know, you get to know somebody from close. You see mindless. From Meiracha, you can see, but you're not close now. From that space of closeness, you see Taif, my bracha and tefillah for us all is we and all of us should see good in ourselves and all of Am Yisrael, and then the Rebbeinu Shalom, we say good on each other, then the Rebbeinu Shalom sees good. Achei Noidadam, one of the causes of Galus Mitzrayim was Lashon Hara, was Yidden saying bad each other. Moshe Rabbeinu says Achei Noidadam, and yet I know why Klal Yisrael goes through what they go through. The Gemara says that one of the questions after 120, from the first questions we're challenged in our life, is Imlachtecha Chavercha, when you treat your friend like a melech. When you mechabed your friend, when you mechabed people, the emes to be mechabed, it means in Shamayim they're not wasting, they're not being frivolous. It means our friend's worthy of being treated with royalty. That's what it means, a person's worthy of being treated like royalty. My wife, when she married the family, father would talk about him, his Spalim, and his shul, and his dafyomi. He would talk about his malabatim. My wife who are these people? As she met them, she saw my father saw. He spoke good about people, and he was excited. The emes of people. He was excited about people. Each one, there was so much to learn from, so much to see, and if we could be mechazik, we're people chesed Hashem, or mitzvah. Tremendous, so many times in the Torah, it's repeated. The amount of Lavan and Aseis and Arurim, the Chavetz Chaim, it's from the most important themes of the Torah. The Chavetz Chaim shows it's repeated over and over. When a guy's a Talmud, I like hearing about big people. Somebody's a Talmud of a Rosh Hashiva, of a Gadol. I always ask, what does he speak about a lot? So what does Hashem speak about a lot? It's a big theme in the Torah. I can't say it's the biggest. Big theme in the Torah, it's repeated over and over and over. The Zehirus, not to say Lashon, not to knock another Yid. So the Rebbeinu Shalom should give us the einayim to see good in others and not chas v'shalom to knock other Yidden. Amen.